Welcome to our second session of today with Szymon. Szymon has several years of experience as a lead test engineer, so recently at Kainos, a provider of digital services. And he's interested in all kinds of automation and improvements in the software development process. So today he will present BDD frameworks for API and UI testing, along with adding accessibility testing methods. So hi, Szymon. Nice to meet you. How are you today?
Hey Jonas, I'm quite good. How are you?
I'm good as well. Thank you. So I recognize you have been in the testing industry for more than 10 years now. So what was the decision driver for your career choice?
Oh, it could be a topic for another talk, let's say, but in short words, it was a kind of curiosity and a need to work in a creative way.
All right, I see. Yeah, I can feel that way as well. So awesome. I also feel like accessibility testing is one of the hottest topics these days. I heard quite a lot. So that's why I'm really looking forward to your session to learn how you are able to actually create an UI and accessibility framework from scratch, just less than 1 hour, which is, I think, really amazing. So have fun, everyone. And I will hand over the word to you.
Okay, thank you, Jonas. Okay, I will start sharing my screen. Okay, I hope you all see the screen and I will start the slides now. This will be more coding than looking to the slides, but I do have some slides here. So welcome to my session. Today I will be talking about the frameworks, but I want to give you some quick context. So use case overview where I learned about those frameworks and in what environment those were used. Then I will show you how to set up framework in just 5 minutes. And I will do the demo of Karate API testing, of Cinnamon UI testing, and at the end I will add accessibility testing on top of UI framework that I will create during this talk. Okie dokie. So the use case. Around a year ago, I was working for organization for a project. This was a public register, which has its own digital division, which were working on online services. So you could go to, for example, a local office to deal with your stuff, or you could do this over the internet. So the digital division was working on those internet services. And the team structure was around 15 Scrum teams with 25 testers, 5 test leads, test manager, and there were hundreds of people there, yes, because product owners, developers, Scrum Master, and so on. And it wasn't chaotic. It was really great working environment. The tools they were using were the Karate and Cinnamon for API testing and UI testing that I will be showing you in a minute. The accessibility testing, when I joined the project, they didn't have anything. They were working on some proof of concept on some, let's say, tool. I don't remember what the tool was, but with my friend, we had some experience with polytool, so we introduced proof of concept, and it was approved. And it was just after a month of working there, so it also shows that this was great working environment, open for good ideas, and if you were able to quickly prove the value, they just took it. Okay, just for a note, the performance testing was done using JMeter. The security testing was done by external company. This is out of scope, but I just wanted to show you that those type of tests was also done in this organization. Okay, so how to set up a framework? You need to have Java on your machine. So we are now switching to technical stuff. You need to have Java. You need to have Maven. You need to have IntelliJ, and you need to have some plugins in IntelliJ. If you have those type of things, you are able to set up your framework in 5 minutes. So this is kind of prerequisites. What most of us, I believe, working as a testers, working on automation, working on running script, probably do have those stuff on our machines, so it shouldn't be a problem. In terms of plugins for IntelliJ, you need to have Cucumber for Java and Gherkin. It's not a must, but this will allow you to run the tests from the IntelliJ. Okay, now how to set up a framework. If you have Java, if you have Maven, if you have IntelliJ, you need to only run this command, which is here. I will share the slides after the presentation, so you will be able to try it out by yourself. This will take around 5 minutes. This will generate everything for you. Once this is done, you need to open the newly generated project in IntelliJ, and that's it. You are able to start working on your test. All the dependencies, all the libraries, all that you need to work is there, ready for you. More information can be found under the link which is on this slide. Uh, the same thing is with the UI test. You need to run different command because you will be taking different, let's say, libraries, and you will need different dependencies. But still, this is only one command. You hit this command, you hit push enter, and the project is generating for you. You will open this project in IntelliJ, and it's ready for you to use. Okay, let's go to API demo. The test object will be the crud.com page. The functionality will be create, read, and update, delete. More details about crud will be on this website, but in short words, is a page that providing you an endpoint where you can create, read, update, delete datasets. Okay, I will now share the IntelliJ. Okay, can you see it? I do believe you can see it. What I did before the session, I created two JSONs that I will be using for a request. So during the session, I will create a test that will create a data set, will update data set, will read the data set, and will delete the data set. So for creation, I needed to create a JSON. I will create data set with pets. So the first data will be, the first entity will be cat with name sparkle angel, H2, and color pink. So to create it, I need to create new feature file. Let's call it demo.feature. And I need to declare a feature. So this will be create, read, update, delete. Before writing the scenarios, I need to declare background, uh, which will have the data that will be shared between the scenarios, between the requests that will be executed on this file. So first, let's define the URL. So this is one of the keywords used in Karate framework. And the next thing, let's define the def is here also keyword. We are defining variables here, and let's define the request body. So this will be create JSON body equals, and we will use a function read, and we will just simply read the create JSON file. Okie dokie. As we see, this is taking create JSON. If the create JSON file is in the same folder as the feature file, we just are putting the name here. If this would be in some other place, we would need to put a path in this place. Okay, the last thing I will define for now will be the path name, which is our endpoint. So path name will be called pets. Okay, what I can do now is declare scenario. create, read, update, delete. I will start with create. But before writing and running the code, I will show you the data set, the empty data set on CRUD page. Yes, so we do see there is an endpoint here, and it's a pets, and it's empty. Let's refresh it. It's empty. I will create the entry now, and I will show you that something happened on this page. Okay, so to create an entry, I will be using given, when, then keywords. So given path name, and request. Create JSON body and method post then status 201. Okay, so this is it. This is something that we can run now, and this should create an entry in the database. As we see, there are some keywords here. So this is a path, request, method, and status. There are more keywords here, but if you will, I will show some of them during the this presentation, but more can be found, of course, on the internet. Okay, let's run scenario and see how it goes. Finger crossed. Okay, it's green. We have some response here. There was entry created with IDs. So we have ID here. Let's take a look at the website here. Yeah, we do have a new entry created with ID. So what we would like to do, we would like to reuse the IDs. For example, we create an entry, and now we want to read this entry, or for a reason to see, for example, if it was created. So let's do the read part now. Before that, let's define ID equals response dot ID. So response is another keyword here. It is taking the response from the previously executed request. And after the dot, we have this ID stuff, which is just taking the ID field from the response. So let's do the read request. Given path, path name, comma, ID. This will just merge path name and ID into path name / ID in the request that will be sent when method get then status 200. Okay, what I can do here is also I can show you another keyword which is useful, print response. Okay, let's give it a go. Okay, we have test is passed. We have a response here printed. We have new ID, and we have also new entry in the DB. Good practice is to delete the entries after the test. What I will show you the delete in a minute. But first, I will show you how to update the entry. So to do that, I need to define a new body, because create JSON is one stuff. We created a cat named Spark Angel, but we want this cat to become a dog named Slayer and with black color. So let's define the update body variable. update JSON, and let's do the update stuff. Given path name ID and request update body and method put, then status 200. Okay, the test is passed. Let me see the website. There is new entry and the entry is changed now. So let's go now to the last part of this demo. So this will be the delete, which will be the easiest one. So given path name ID and method delete, then status 200. Let's run it. Okay, and it also passed. Let me see the website. There is no new entry here, which is okay because it was created, it was updated, and it was deleted. Okay, so the questions, if you have any questions on this API part, we will I will answer those at the end. I will do a quick summary here on this, and we'll move to the UI demo. So for the summary, we need to define a feature. We need to define a background where we can define authentication data shared between the scenarios and so on. And we need to define given when then scenarios, then we can run the test. As you see, it was quite easy and quick. Okay, in terms of UI demo, the test object will be the TestCon LT page, and the functionality will be closing a cookie banner. So I will just quickly show you the page that we will be testing, which you all know. I will, if you are not familiar with Selenium, Selenium is using the locators to interact with web pages. So I will show you where to take those locators from. You can inspect element. On that element, I will inspect the TestCon logo element, which has an ID named logo. And the other element that I need for this test is the coded button. So this will be the cookie button, which also has a unique ID here. Okay, so let's switch now. Let's close this page and let's switch to IntelliJ to Cinnamon demo. Okie dokie. So this is something that was generated by this command. And this is something we can start working on. So let's start with the configuration. Base URL needs to be defined here. So base URL will be testcon.lt. Let's now go to resources and features. Let's define a new feature file, demo.feature. And we can start writing the code here. So we need a group, which will be annotated TestCon. We need a feature, which will be cookie button. And we need a scenario, which will be close a cookie button. Now, again, we need given when done stuff. So given the TestCon page is displayed, when I click the cookie button, then the cookie button is no longer displayed. Okay, so how to make this work? I need to define steps that will be mapped with given when then. So I will create a new class, TestCon steps. And I will just start creating the methods. So given the TestCon page is displayed, when I click the cookie button, so you see all the classes are there. I just need to import them. Every dependency that I need is there. Then the cookie button is displayed. It's no longer displayed, sorry. Okay, in order those methods to work, I need to define pages. So I will create new Java class TestCon page. I already showed you the IDs. So I will be using find by ID annotation. So this is find by ID also, it's there. So I need only to import it. And this is the logo. And this is the cookie button. So I do have those two elements now declared, so I can interact with them. So the first method is page displayed. And this is Boolean method, so all I need to do is return this element and is displayed on this element, which will tell if it's displayed or if not. Then I need to interact with the cookie button. So this will be on the cookie button. So I need to take this element and click on it. And I need to check if this element is still displayed. Okay, I do have everything, I believe. And now I can just inject TestCon page. Here and start using it. Okay, so here I can use an assertion. So there are also the assertions in dependencies. For this exercise, I will use the Hamcrest JUnit ones. So I will assert that page is displayed and it needs to be true. Then I will click the button. And then I will do another assertion. That is checking that cookie button is not displayed. So is cookie button displayed should be equal to false. Okay. What one last thing that I need to do is hooks. So this is somewhere where we are defining the before, afters, the methods, the classes, and so on and so forth. So I will do before in our TestCon group. And what I need to do, I will just copy this from here. I need to open a base URL that was already set up. Okay, one more thing, I think edit configuration we need here because we need to define also the environment, which is set to default. Okay, as you see, this is default. This is base URL. If this would be empty, the test would fail. But let me run the test and let's see how it goes. Finger crossed this is live coding session, and I hope this will work. Yeah, I do see. It might work. Okay, let's see the page. It clicked the button and it failed. And why it failed? It failed because the cookie button is no longer still displayed. Yeah, this is something I was expecting, to be honest, and I need to add one quick method here for wait for this element to be invisible. Also to show you that every dependency is there and every library is there, that you just need to, you can just focus on resolving such problems. So I will implement quickly the method here. Live coding session. I need also to have a driver. And let's run the test one more time. So something strange happening with IntelliJ, and it shows that something is still running, but it's not. So don't worry about this for now. Okay, so the page is here. The button is here. It was clicked. And it still failed. Wonder why. Okay, nevertheless, it was working yesterday. Probably this is, you know, the live. I know why it's failing, because I implemented the method, but I didn't use it. So I need to use it. Wait for element to be invisible and a cookie button. Okay, now it should work. Okay, again, we have the website here. We have the button, and now all the tests are passed here, which is great. Okie dokie. So this is it in terms of UI testing. Let's go to quick summary here. So to do those tests, we need, of course, to generate the framework. We need to update the config file, create a feature, create a step, create a page object, implement steps with page interaction, create that hook with details regarding the feature, and we need to run a test, see if it works. If it's not working, we need to resolve the issues because we might need some weights, we might need some other steps here. But that's it in terms of UI testing. Now I will quickly switch to the accessibility testing. What we need UI testing framework here. But yeah, this is the UI testing that I showed you minutes ago. I will be reusing it, but you can also use Poly.js on websites. For example, I will show you in a minute how this works. You need a Node, you need npm, you need the Poly.js. If you have no npm, you just install Poly using the command npm install Poly.js. And how this works. It's take a snapshot of HTML page during the UI test, and it perform accessibility check against HTML snapshot using Poly.js script. And this is important. What this won't do, the truth is no single tool will catch all issues, all accessibility issues. This won't catch visual issues, so like color and contrast, and this won't catch PDF accessibility. Okie dokie. So we do have our testing framework here, and we need to take a HTML snapshot. So at some point of the test, for example, click on cookie button. Before clicking on this cookie button, I would like to see how the website looks like, so I can take a snapshot for it. So I will create a method. Take snapshot. I will create a string HTML5 will be driver get page source. So if we will call it, we will have a string with the page source. And what else I need to do? I need to write this string to a file so I can perform check using PolyScript against this file. So I just used the code from the Uncle Google here, the first one that was working. And to be honest, this is the first one, so it's quite easy probably to find it. Okay, and what I need to do here is to call this method. So take snapshot. Okay, what this method will do, it will take this page source and write it to the test.html file. This will be somewhere here, I do believe. So for now, there is no HTML file here. Let's run the test for the last time. Not this test, sorry. Okay, there is the page, there is the logo, there is the button. The button was clicked, the test was passed, but now we have test HTML file generated here. So now using the terminal, I can just do something like this. And I do have some kind of report here. So there are some errors on the pages, and you can do a lot of stuff. Can have those reports in CSV files. You can have those reports in JSON files. You can have different standards tested, because for now it is testing AA standards, but it can be tested using AAA standards. I think I have some command over there. So if we do poly / standard WCAG2AA this will be different report, I believe. Yeah, 79 errors. And you can do this also on website. So you just use the script against the website rather than file, and this will also work. This is really super easy to reuse in a pipeline also, because all you need to do is to run a UI test. Then next step in a pipeline is take this output and run that script against it and pass or fail depending on the issues. Okie dokie. Let's go back to my presentation. So accessibility, what I did, I created a snapshot method in my framework. I installed poly.js on my machine, ran the test that generated this HTML file, and run this poly.js scripts against generated script. So is it working? In 15 Scrum teams, there are stable UI and API test suites, and this accessibility is reusing UI test output. What can you do after this presentation? You can try to set up the testing framework in new project. You can check if those can bring value to your current project. You can add accessibility to your suite, or you can simply spend an hour and try to do the same thing I did now, because it's really super easy and super quick. Some links. Karate Quick Start, Cinnamon Quick Start, and Poly. And now there's time for questions.
All right, thank you, Simon. So really interesting to see, and I feel like finally someone is doing some I don't feel stupid anymore when I don't have like all the methods in it and forget some of those. So we do not have any questions right now. So maybe one question from my side. So you mentioned that with Poly, I think I haven't used it until now, so you can do visual checks like visual verification, stuff like that. Do you know what kind of tools can?
To be honest, no.
All right. Interesting. Yeah, because like I feel like this is like one of the topics which is also regressive.
Yes, it is.
Sometimes,
But on Poly, I can say that in this project we are using this Poly, but other than that, we had external company to do external accessibility testing. And after using Poly, they didn't have much work, and we had a feedback that our service is great. So
all right,
it's
cool.
always good to use it. And but yeah, the external eyes might be also needed, because as mentioned in the presentation, no single tool will catch all the issues.
Yeah, I see that. All right, so we finally have some questions. So one question is, does Karate only work with the REST API, or can it be configured with other API types?
To be honest, I don't know. I was testing this only on the REST APIs. Not sure if it can be used for SOAP, to be honest.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess we have to do some research on this. If you're interested, leave us a message and we will try to answer this question.
Yeah.
All right, the next question. So from Peter, what are disadvantages of Gherkin?
I don't know what are the disadvantages of Gherkin, but there are some disadvantages of the Karate framework, because you've seen that I created one single scenario for create, read, update, and delete. And I could do this in separate scenarios, but if I'm creating a data in the scenario, it can be scenarios with it can be shared with another scenarios. So this is disadvantages. In terms of Gherkin disadvantages, maybe BDD disadvantages, it's On the UI, let's say side of thing, I think it might be used only by testers, developers. We are writing this VDD, and it's quite of time consuming, and probably business might not be looking at this. In terms of karate testing, I think there are no disadvantages because it's so easy to write a test there that we don't need to have any code there, which is really low-code solution. I didn't like low-code solution until I saw the karate framework. And also, if you need to do some coding in karate, you can also add some Java stuff behind the scene. It's doable, so it's not so low-code. It's very complex, and it's very elastic also.
All right, pretty cool. So we have a few more questions, and in the meanwhile, one of them was, can you share the links once again, please? So maybe we can like put on this slide before we move to the next question. All right, thank you. So another question from Andrews is, can we configure Pally to show only particular errors?
Yes, this can be configured. I think that there can be done some kind of threshold. There can be configured to show the errors from different standard sets I showed. Yes, so it's configurable.
All right, pretty cool. And the last question until now is, do you have an example of website without accessibility errors in Pally?
With accessibility errors?
Without accessibility errors.
The good questions, to be honest. Yes, the service I was working on, but it's for sure.
Okay, yes,
The websites, that are on the internet probably do have those errors, unfortunately.
Yeah, I see. So it's probably
I would look for some government pages, UK government pages, which there is kind of requirement that they need to be accessible. So probably Polish script will not show so many issues there, or no issues even, depending on the service.
Yeah. Okay. All right. There's another question coming in. Could you please tell more about the report for Cinnamon UI? Are there any diagrams?
To be honest, I didn't do any more reporting on the Cinnamon, but I know that there are diagrams, there are ways to show the results better other than pass and fail.
Okay, yeah, I see. All right, so for now, I think we are all good. A lot of questions were coming in, so if there's no more question popping up, we will just end the session soon. Again, we will have a short break after this talk, I think for 10 or 15 minutes, and the next one will start at 10:05. Again, Szymon, thank you so much for being here. It was really interesting to see, and I'm quite impressed actually. So
thank you for having me. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please try this out because it's really quick and easy.
Yeah, I will actually try it out myself soon. So yeah, maybe we can show like the slides for the link for like the last minute we have here. So yeah, I guess that's it from our side. So all right, guys, have a nice short break, grab a coffee, and then we will see ourselves in the next session. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.